promise to you. By the end of this presentation, you will have everything that you need to start a four figures per month website with a minimum budget. You could be making five, you could be making six figures, but I can guarantee you that at least you can make four figures in pretty much any niche. And this includes all the tactics that you need to find profitable niches, all the tools that you will need to actually do the work, all the content types that you will need to learn how to produce, all the keyword research tactics that we use and that you will need to create that kind of site, and all the link building tactics that you will need as well. Actually, this training is so comprehensive that internally I was considering selling it for around $30 to $50 and then upselling our authority site system course. I am not doing it today. It's 100% free. So enjoy it because yeah, maybe we'll change online at some point. If you stay until the end, we've also prepared you a special gift in the form of a goodie bag, including all the templates that we mentioned into this webinar and a bunch more resources that we just don't have time to go through because it's so packed with information. So if you want to take some stuff more in depth, you need to stay until the end because I'll give you this goodie bag and you'll have access to information that other people will not have. Before we jump in, let me just make sure that you are in the right place. So I'm going to give you examples of the kind of people this training is going to help the most. First of all, beginners. If you are starting with online marketing and you want to learn how to do it properly without shortcuts and with a real shot at making money online, this is the right place. This system is 100% beginner friendly. Second, lurkers. If you have been reading online marketing blogs and online marketing forums for a long time, but you haven't taken action yet, the material you're going to find tonight inside this presentation is so actionable and so easy for some of these things to do that you should be able to take small steps and finally get a little bit of results and then get going and get out of this just reading, not taking action loop that you can find yourself into when you get started with online marketing. Third, it's for the people that want to quit their job or their freelance gig. I mean, we were in this situation a couple years ago with Mark and we didn't enjoy our life and we wanted to get rid of our agency. And we used the system that we are going to teach you tonight to get out of it. Now we work 100% on our website and there's a good chance that you could be doing the same like many of our members have. Then it's also for people who have tried online marketing before, who have failed. And the truth is, it's probably not your fault. I mean, a lot of the methods that are there lack of structure, I feel, to properly guide their students, so then they get caught with things like shiny object syndrome and so on. But it's not the case here. Everything is extremely structured and systematized, so it's really hard to get off track and it's really hard to fail. But you should be at the right place tonight if you failed before. Finally, it's also for people looking to scale things up, people that have had a little bit of success creating websites but haven't made the life-changing money that they were hoping for. Because everything is so systematized and so replicable that we're going to be showing you tonight, you're probably going to get a different perspective on things that you might have done already in terms of making some money online, but being unable to scale it. You will see exactly how you could be scaling it by being more efficient at these things. So you will love this webinar. So that's basically the kind of people that will benefit the most from this presentation. Now, another question I would probably have in the chat right now is why should I listen to this guy? Who is this guy anyway with his real French accent? Well, my name is Gail Brunson, and I do online marketing since 2009, and I've been doing it in the North American market for the most part. With Mark, my business partner, we run large business to consumer websites, sites like howpermission.com, for a living. We're not the kind of bloggers that only teach online marketing. We actually do what we preach, and we share some of our URLs with our followers so that they can see what we talk about in real life, and they can also see, most importantly, that we invest our own money in the methods that we teach, which I guess gives them some credit because we throw a lot of money at content on sites like Health Mission, for example, and for a good reason. I mean, these sites are doing quite well for us. We're well into the seven figures per year with our multiple businesses, and you can see some screenshots that I quickly took this morning as a proof of that. And it's not just us, right? We have helped over 2,500 Authority Hacker Pro and Authority Site System members generate real income with our no BS tactics. I mean, you can see Dan Bernard here, who started his first website in March 2016, and in October 2017 he quit his job, and a couple of months after he's making 4 times as much as his old job with his new site, and he's got staff and he's doing quite well. And he's not the only one. This is the example of someone that did quite well and went quite far in the process. We've also helped a lot of people recently make their first dollars online, which is not easy. It's really hard when you get started to make your first money, but with trainings like the authority side system, we have seen people that have never made money before make money online for the first time and be well on their path to actually quit their job this year. People like Robert Botta, who started in January 2017, and by August was making $8,513 in a month. And when I pinged him in December, he was making over $23,000 per month. So I actually have a full interview with Robert on authorityhacker.com/undercover2. So if you want to listen to an hour interview or so of me and Robert talking with each other, then you will be able to find it on this URL. And additionally, large IM personalities like Noah Kagan or Tim Solo from Ahrefs are recommending us to their audience and use our training for their own companies to train their staff. So I guess if the biggest SEO tool company is using our training to train their staff in SEO, we're doing okay. So that's why I think you should be listening to us. Now, as we jump in, please avoid any kind of distraction. As you can see, I speak pretty fast and I'm making a lot of efforts not to speak too fast right now. So try to avoid Skype, try to avoid Facebook, because really this is the highest value free webinar that we've ever done. And we could really have charged for it. So before we start, take a second to breathe and visualize. How would you feel if you build and own the website generating 4 to 5 times the income you make from a full-time job? What would you do with that? What would you add to your life that you're unable to earn now? Use this vision and hold on to it while I'm doing the presentation because this should give you the motivation to take action as soon as possible to make this happen. So let's get started. Let's talk about the business model because step one is to have a clear vision and keep the end goal in mind. And the end goal is to make money, to have a return on investment. So my question, what I always ask before we start a website is, where is the money? So it's important that you understand how websites make money. There's really three main ways websites make money. Now they all take different forms, but really it boils down to these three things. The first one is advertising, which means putting blocks of ads that people pay for to promote their products on your website. It usually requires a lot of traffic to make decent money, but you don't need a lot of trust from this traffic. Even shitty sites that have advertising, you wouldn't mind clicking on them because you know it's actually not certified inside. Now, advertising can take also the form of native advertising, where essentially advertisers pay publishers to mention them in blog posts, but it's kind of the same thing. The second one is affiliate marketing, where you get paid for the product sales of someone else's product. It does not require as much traffic, but it requires traffic of people that will buy the product, because if people don't buy, you don't get paid. So the amount of traffic needed is definitely lower. The potential revenue is definitely a lot higher, but you need the right kind of people landing on your site, so it's a little bit more tricky. The third way of making money is to sell stuff to your audience. That can be virtual stuff like courses, like services, that kind of stuff, or real stuff like physical products. By far the highest profit that you can make from a website, but it's also the hardest to achieve. There is a lot of moving pieces. You have customer service, you have marketing, you have processing payments, you have delivery, logistics. All of that needs to be managed at the same time, which is definitely a challenge, especially if you're a beginner. And on top of that, to actually get people to swipe their credit card on your website, you need to earn their trust, which takes quite a bit of work. And people won't be paying on any website. They need to feel good about this website. So in terms of profit, it goes ads, which is the lowest profit but the easiest. Affiliate marketing, which is a little bit harder, but also makes a lot more money than ads. And third, selling your own stuff. That's what makes the most money. Based on these monetization models, what we've done is we've built a three-step model that focuses on return on investment and webmaster skill growth. It assumes absolutely no prior knowledge, so if you're a beginner, that's fine. And it's been used by many of our members that I mentioned earlier, and I'll mention many more at the end. Each stage builds on top of each other, so you get to stack up revenue from all kinds of monetization methods. So let me explain these stages to you. The first stage, stage one, authority website, focuses on affiliate revenue and what we call on-page sales. Essentially, this website is going to be talking about products that people are looking to buy and is going to be using affiliate links to sell other people's products. And when people click through and buy the product, you will get paid. So that is the business